Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Hit Life, where we bring you news, interviews, and more from all your favorite Southeast regional MMA promotions. Today, we're joined by the president of Vigilant MMA, Brandon Lee. Hello, Brandon. Thank you so much for joining us.
How's it going, Lewis?
Great, thank you. The event this last weekend, Combat Quest 22, was spectacular to say the least. Amazing debut performances, incredible stories, and a few upsets as well. How do you feel the event went?
Man, I thought the event was great. It exceeded my expectations, and those were pretty high. Like I was telling you earlier, I like to always make sure that each show is better than the previous. So we really brought it this show, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. Some of the comments I heard were, when's the next show going to be? That was the best show I've ever been to. Let's get into recapping the event a little bit. We started off with the prelims. Joe Boroff and Keith Hart Jr. Joe Boroff came out with an amazing amateur debut. What did you think about that match?
So he's been training for about a year. So I knew that he was going to come in ready to box. Keith, on the other hand, is now a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, does striking, does grappling, has had competed in more things than anybody ever has for Vigilant before. All five sports. He actually got an award for it recently, as you know. So like it was strength versus strength. Keith as the wily veteran, Joe as the hungry young lion that's been training for a year to get ready for that moment. And they gave us everything we hoped they would, man. And that was the perfect fight to start the night off. And I always do that.
Agreed. And then we had an MMA match between Ike Youssef and Vigilant newcomer Joseph Moosie, but Joseph is no newcomer to MMA at all. He's actually very experienced. What did you think about that one?
Yep. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from Ike. I know American MMA out there in Pinellas Park, they're doing big things. They got a bunch of people out there training. They got a bunch of hungry fighters. So I expected him to be a competent fighter. And then Joseph, the son of a Wing Chun science head coach and owner of that gym, I knew that he was going to bring his A+ game. So that fight was a 3-round back and forth fight that Moosie definitely deserved the unanimous decision, but Ike is no pushover.
Yes, absolutely. And then talking about great stories, we had these two young men that came out with their amateur Muay Thai kickboxing debut, Dylan Rivero and Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell those were amateurs, much less youth amateurs at that, and making their debuts. I mean, it was great, man. That fight gave us more than we could have expected as an organization. Dylan, with all that weight on his shoulder, with the recent surprise death of his brother, and dedicating the training and the competition to his brother, I couldn't imagine the nerves that little kid was feeling, and he was just all smiles, just cool as a cucumber. So, and then I can't say enough about the opponent, Matthew Thomas. That was his first fight. 14 years old, flew halfway across the country on like 4 days' notice because Dylan's original opponent had to pull out. So we were fortunate to find somebody to fill in. And him and his coach came in, flew in, had to cut some weight at the weigh-ins. They were a pound over. They had to leave, go cut weight, come back, and they went in there and fought for 3 full rounds.
So to cap off the prelims, we had Khalil McKinney and Danny Lowe. Khalil came in with a suplex slam to submission and defeated his opponent in a little over 30 seconds.
So I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I was a little disappointed there. I think Danny was way too relaxed and did not properly respect Khalil's killer instinct. Khalil did not play any games, and as soon as he left an opening, he swarmed in like a freaking hungry lion that hadn't eaten in 8 or 10 days, and went to work and did not stop until the job was done. So we're looking at Khalil for October, November, and we'll see what's next for Danny.
All right, let's get into the main card. We had two undefeated athletes going against each other, Ross Parker and Blake Menard. What did you think about that match?
I mean, that was one of the fight of the nights right there because Blake definitely came out and showed his athleticism, was getting solid takedown slams, wowing the crowd. But Ross was playing excellent jujitsu. He's very strong, and it was fourth war. There were moments I thought Ross was done and Blake was about to finish, and there was definitely two different times that I thought Ross had the submission on Blake, and Blake was spit his mouthpiece out and turned purple and didn't give up. Both these guys are warriors. Both Ross Parker and Blake Menard, you will hear their names again on the professional level for sure.
And then next we had Samir Abedrabo and David Pelegroso Pierluisi in a rematch.
This was their second time fighting. They fought Muay Thai kickboxing, and David won by split decision. And then they fought MMA on Sunday, and David won by split decision. So it was a tremendous fight, man. Those guys are both beasts.
It was an incredible fight, and they deserved fight of the night for that one. So then we had the featured bout, Jaden Rivero and Colin Walker, two incredible young men.
Rivero and Walker, man, that was a great back and forth fight. Another one that went all 3 rounds. Walker won by unanimous decision, but I feel like Jaden put up a great fight. And even once he realized that his tactics weren't working, he was still pushing forward and attempting them. Both these young men, man, they're going to be dangerous when they turn 18.
They're certainly two young men to look out for. And then we had the co-main event between Gaypedia and Ourgenes Castro. It seemed like half the crowd was out there for Def Force. So we had Pedia coming into enemy territory. What did you think about that matchup?
Well, this was the third fight of the night right here. It went the whole distance. It was back and forth, and it was a split decision. So one of the judges saw it in Castro's favor, 2 in Peria's. But man, that fight was way better than I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect from Peria because I couldn't find much footage on him. And then when I did, it was very grainy. But I knew that Castro comes to kill. So in order for Peria to win that fight, he was going to have to be an even bigger killer that day, and he was, man. Those inside leg kicks, forcing Ourgenes to change his stance because of the severity and the strength of those inside leg kicks, that was the difference maker.
And then the main event between Nick Weaver and Marquez Forrest. We had Nick Weaver came from Oklahoma. He's been wrestling since he was a kid. The Factory Grappling Club is the epicenter of grappling in the state of Oklahoma. And then he took on the hometown hero, Marquez Forrest.
It was a strength versus strength battle, just what I wanted, just what I expected. Both of those guys are great grapplers. Both those guys look to kill. And Nick Weaver almost got the upset. Me and you were just talking about that off camera. Second round, man, he almost got the knee bar. He rolled it into a toe lock, and he almost got it, man. Mm-hmm. So, but kudos to Marquez. He stayed calm. He worked the position. He worked his way out of the submission. And then he said, time to put the foot on the gas and finish the fight, TKO. So he's going to defend for us October 22nd, and then it's going to be on to the pro ranks.
Wow. Thank you for that update, Brandon. If you'd like that, make sure you stay tuned because Brandon has a couple of surprises he's going to break, and we're going to go over rankings updates in the next video coming out soon. If you enjoyed this interview, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get more.